Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the AFC's Roundtable, man. It's a good day on the AFC's Roundtable. Obviously, because the Buffalo Bills have entered into the divisional round. We have some exciting news coming across the rest of the division as well that more than likely we are going to unpack. But the Buffalo Bills ultimately ended up beating the hell out of the Denver Broncos, baby. Beating the hell out of the Denver Broncos, and the divisional round's right around the corner, and man, just something feels different about this Sunday, baby. I'm excited to unpack that on Wednesday for our big preview segment, but we have a lot to talk about today. TD, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Another beautiful day. We still got football. Big shout out to the Buffalo Bills fans, and the Bills in general, representing the AFC East Roundtable. You guys have advanced to the next round. Good job this weekend. We're going to get into the details of that game, but I just wanted to give all Bills fans a shout out, man. Just want to give you your flowers while you're still here.
Flowers while we're still here. You heard it here from the man. Don't worry, TD.
I can't give it
you
to
were
you
going to be giving
week.
us flowers. You were going to be giving us flowers all the way up until free agency starts when you get into next season mode, baby. Because that Lombardi is going to be insane. Richie, how you doing?
Doing well. Shout out BetUS for powering the show first and foremost, man. Much love to BetUS. Without them, where would we be, baby? Don't forget to use the code YouTube150 to sign up. Vikings, Rams tonight. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But more importantly, we got a Bills game to recap. Congratulations to Bills Mafia everywhere for winning your playoff game. Big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this show. Make sure you guys check it out. Aaron, YouTube 150 is the code, up to $2,000, 125% on your next two. All right, so big shout out to BetUS. Vikings 2-point favorites on the road. Will Sam Darnold come through? But other than that, man, life is great. Playoff weekend was phenomenal. Can't wait to see the finale tonight of the Super Wildcard weekend. We did a different type of show on Roundtable. We did Roundtable Cast with TD and I while Dan was live during the Bills game, and that was pretty awesome. And we have another announcement that we officially announced today that we're really, really excited about, that I'm sure we'll talk about. Colby, how about you, brother? How you feeling?
Man, I'm great. I was sick over the last few days. Richie, I'm sure you know, because Mike Vrabel, baby, is a New England Patriot, and we all knew it was going to happen.
Colby was sleeping when it happened.
When it was official, I took a double dose of NyQuil. So I was out. I was like, shoot, there is so much things happening for Roundtable. I cannot be sick right now. I have to use this week to get better. And then, of course, the day that I take a double dose of NyQuil, Mike Vrabel becomes a Patriot. I got Richie calling and texting me like, dude, wake the frick up. I'm like, oh shoot. Oh, I got to go make a video.
Dude, literally,
right now.
Breaking news, Mike Vrabel's a Patriot, and like a half hour goes by. I don't see no Roundtable sports posts, which is Colby's job, by the way. I don't see no Patriots global post anywhere. I'm like, oh boy, Colby's asleep, spamming. I'm like, Colby, wake up. Wake up, Colby. Vrabel's a Patriot.
Yeah, I picked up the phone. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm going. Thank God I had the thumbnail already made. I made that thumbnail for Mike Vrabel being the Patriots head coach days in advance because I knew it was going to happen. But it's been a crazy last few days. It's going to be an even crazier next few weeks. But absolutely blessed, and this is the best time of year.
Oh, absolutely, man. We're really excited. And also, we announced it already on socials. We announced it everywhere, but how could we not talk about it here on this channel? Because this is where everything started.
It's where it all began, baby.
This is where everything started, man. It all started here on the AFC's Roundtable. Dan, we made it.
We made it, and trust me, I have told everyone that I have ever met in my entire life. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Listen.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not, actually. I have been flexing like crazy because hard work pays off. Ladies and gentlemen, Roundtable Sports will be at the Super Bowl, covering all of Super Bowl week. We're going to have opportunities of asking coaches and players the questions, asking Josh Allen and Jared Goff all the questions that we want to out on the damn field. And then hopefully we are approved for one other thing, but I'm going to wait until we get news from it. But it is official. All four of us are going to New Orleans, and your boy ended up booking his Delta Comfort Plus. Richie, so did you decide to get first class, bro?
I'm still waiting for the official news of the dates because I'm waiting to hear back from TD.
Yeah. Bad news, but yeah.
Yeah, what?
It looks like a lot of stuff is about sold out.
So, all right.
We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out.
driving.
Yeah, I'm booking my flight when I find out which day we're flying out. So that's either Thursday or Friday we're flying out. But yeah, haven't booked my flight yet, but it's gonna be an exciting time, man. In New Orleans, we're gonna be there for Media Week, which means we get to interview the 2 Super Bowl teams, right? There's a chance. And I told Dan, I'm like, Dan, if there's ever a year for the Bills to make the Super Bowl, you better hope it's now, dude. Like, you better hope it's now. This could be Dan Mitchell's, like, peak of his entire human existence of being able to cover a Buffalo Bills Super Bowl.
Dude, would be absolutely insane. And you know what? I think that's how the universe works. Like, that's how the universe works. Like, we wouldn't have been granted these credentials without the universe already placing the Buffalo Bills there. Like, a team from the AFC East had to be there. So we know that they're going to be there for it, and it's a beautiful thing. Oh, man, I'm all giddy. But
you might as well just retire after that, Dan. You know? It's like a coach winning the Super Bowl. You might as well just retire after that. It doesn't get better than that.
No.
Doesn't get better than that,
I
bro.
could easily go on like a year's worth of content of just going through receipts, bro. So, like, no.
We're going to, if the Bills make the Super Bowl, we're going to have the chat make up a question that TD is going to have to ask Josh Allen.
That would be hysterical. That would be really, really funny. What would, dude, what would even be funnier is if, like, TD was, like, walking up to Josh Allen to ask a question, and he goes, "Hey, I've seen your videos before, TD Finstock."
Oh, my God.
And he's like, "So I'm trash, huh?
So you have a garbage can of me, I've heard.
So you have a garbage can of me in your office, huh?"
I'm bringing it for him to sign.
He's bringing it for him to
Hey,
sign.
we're professionals. We don't ask for autographs, TD.
Hey, he talked about it. He asked me about the trash can. We're gonna have
TD,
it
come
close.
on now. No, you better put those Sharpie away now. We gotta be professional.
Listen, hey, Josh Allen, man, come talk to me, brother. How did it feel to have lost in the second round of the playoffs?
Yeah, if he comes up to you, then it's not unprofessional. It's just, conversation with a buddy.
Man, I ain't nobody worried about that. That's a whole nother conversation.
Oh,
Listen,
man. It's going
I
to be
just
great.
can't wait.
This is what my entire tuition has been waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, we got so much things. And let's not forget, too, we're going to freaking Mobile, Alabama first. I mean,
We can't forget about that.
the Senior Bowl is happening before that, so we got to be that's a good
So I was corrected
that's good
that-
practice, Dan.
So the pronunciation is actually Mobile.
Yeah, Mobile,
Mobile.
Alabama.
Yeah, I don't
Mobile,
know what Richard just said.
Mobile, Alabama.
So
Mobile.
I've been
I don't
saying
know anything
mobile
about the
in like
South,
my
dude.
hearty Southern accent. And if we really want to blend in, not only do we need to go purchase some camo at the local Bellas, all right, we also need to know how to say Mobile, brother.
Mobile. So it's Mobile.
Mobile.
So I think that's going to be a good practice run for us before the Senior Bowl.
yeah,
Super Bowl.
most definitely. Won't be as nerve-wracking like asking college athletes prior to the draft, right?
Yeah.
It probably will, but it's great practice.
I actually, in college, I had a class where I had to go to a high school football game and cover the game for the radio station. And I had to interview the coach after the game with a little soundbite and interview the players. And I had to go back to the radio station and put a little soundbite of their interview. So
Yeah, I
I
have to do
guess
stuff
I
like
did
that
learn
now,
something in
too.
college.
And you know what sucks too is that I have my interviews class next month. So right after the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty inconvenient.
It's going to be an interesting time. PGZ consistent with this super chat. Aaron Rodgers is cheeks. You know what? I'm sick of this, okay? First ballot Hall of Famer, 500-plus touchdowns. He had 28
So is he a
touchdowns as a
Jet
Jet.
fan?
No.
He's not.
Obviously.
Who is he?
I don't know. But
He's a Patriots fan, I bet.
He's the biggest Aaron Rodgers hater. Aaron Rodgers lives rent-free in your brain, PGZ. Actually, it's not rent-free. You're paying rent because you pay $2 every time there's live to let us know about it. And look, Lino TV hops on the train. LOL, Aaron Cheeks. Come on, what did Aaron Rodgers do to y'all? Teleporting goalpost, $20, staff boy. Hey, I'm not reading that like that. Dan, this is for you.
Hey.
Dan, you got to read that word for word.
Hey, let's go, Buffalo. Feels good to be a Bills fan. Buffalo headed to the Super Bowl. Love you guys. I look forward to your Super Bowl coverage. Dan, tell Josh Allen I said hi at the Super Bowl. Staff boy, 1,010%. I will, man. Among other things, man.
Among other things.
Thank you for the super chats, guys. We have a 50 super chat goal right now, 3 out of 50. Can we get it, TD? What do you think?
Yeah, man. It just depends, man. If Bills Mafia is excited about what happened, I know they're not. Let's just be honest. They knew that they were gonna beat them. It's really about next week, man, and I can't wait. That's what it's about. But I will say this. I keep saying it to y'all, Bills Mafia. Y'all call me a hater. Good game yesterday. You got a great team this year. You already overachieved.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat saying Bills losing for sure. What happened last week? I thought we were getting first rounded by the Broncos, huh? Because they beat us last year in 2023. Is that it, ladies and gentlemen? Now, oh my God, now you're just manifesting another one. Well, I'm sorry to tell you.
I didn't predict that.
You're going to be disappointed again. So go on ahead, start doing me a favor, and just have a pre-saved comment for next week when you say you're not getting past the Chiefs. Save yourself some time, ladies and gentlemen. Pre-save your comment. You're not getting past the Chiefs. And then afterwards, say you're not winning the Super Bowl. And then afterwards, say you're not going to get 2. Enjoy your 1. All right? So pre-save all that shit, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to save you time.
Wow. Dan, is that what TD's going to say? You're not going to get 2 if you win this year?
Oh, 100%.
Man, I ain't going to say, Richie, he's not getting 1. Y'all need to just don't let Dan drive y'all in this delusional land. Stop it.
No, baby. Dude, man, this team is just...
Dan, you realize like your whole life depends on this weekend. Like if you lose, what do you mean? What if you lose?
This is like your worst nightmare of a matchup, right? Like this.
The reason why you've built so much, and I commend you for this. You've created so many enemies. Like you're so confident by the Bills, but like, what happens if they lose?
Yeah. So
in terms of like on like your reaction on social media and everybody.
So I'll still wake up like super jacked. I'll still wake up super successful, being a managing member of a digital media company. And I'll wake up in a 5-star hotel room in New Orleans, dining at the finest steakhouses that money and business could buy. All right. So I think I'll get through it, but it's not happening. We're winning the Super Bowl.
Real talk, though, Dan. Like, and I know we're not talking about this now. We'll talk about it in depth on Wednesday. But I mean, like, if you beat the Ravens, that's got to be like you got to feel good about your direction because that has to be arguably the worst matchup pound for pound for the Buffalo Bills. And if they can surpass that, you got to feel confident about them beating the Texans, about beating the Kansas City Chiefs. The way that the Ravens play football just doesn't match up well with the Bills. So if you can come in and win that game, that's a statement.
Yeah, but what if they lose against the Chiefs?
Most definitely, man. Say, for example, that like we do go in there and beat the Ravens, and like
it's all for nothing.
Well, so say that we beat the Ravens, then like we're rolling Kansas City and we're beating whoever meets us in the Super Bowl. There's no question.
Oh my God.
There's no question.
What, Dan? I'll give you that. I will give you that. If you beat Baltimore, I probably would even pick you to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah. Most definitely. Like no one's stopping us if like we end up beating Baltimore. But like obviously, I do want to save this analysis for Wednesday, obviously. But I'm feeling a hell of a lot more optimistic for like a variety of reasons. But we'll save that for Wednesday.
Wow, the super chats are flying on in.
Yes,
someone must stop the three-peat. Will it be Houston,
Bills, bro?
Will it be Houston? Could it be Houston to stop?
No.
Interesting.
Stop it.
Someone must stop three-peat.
PGZ's a Seahawks fan. That's a.
So he never forgets Aaron Rodgers.
I follow Richie so he never forgets Aaron Rodgers. How did you find me, PGZ? That's a plot twist. I did not expect you to be a Seahawks fan.
That's hysterical, man.
Man, I love Geno Smith, bro. Where did this hate for Aaron Rodgers come from? Why you follow me everywhere, PGZ? Damn, you're coming after me.
That's the boy.
Patriots 92 to $5. Wild stat. Ravens 2 Super Bowl wins. Their quarterback age was 28. Lamar's 28. Ravens Super Bowl win this season. Wow.
Hey, man, only makes sense, right?
Could you argue that the Super Bowl winner comes out of this game? The Ravens win this game. They win the Super Bowl. Bills win this game. Bills win the Super Bowl.
I don't know about the winner. I still believe
Not
in the Detroit
if
Lions
Baltimore wins, then they're winning the Super Bowl. If Buffalo win,
you just said before.
You just said you're rolling back on it
the
already.
team that will represent
you
the AFC
still got to
will
play
win
the
this
team. I say you could beat the Chiefs, but Richie said Super Bowl winner. You're not beating Minnesota.
Man, Minnesota has to win tonight, bro.
Well, they are, Richie.
Teleporting goalposts. Another $20. Thank you, brother. Much love to you, staff boy. Hype speech, they counted us out before the season began. The media said we have regressed. Josh Allen overrated. Bills need to rebuild. But look what happened. Is there any place you would rather be than right here, right now? Wow. Is he calling us out, TD? To our face?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be humble.
What happened? Is there any piece you would rather be than right here, right now?
That's a $20 burger.
It was a $20 burger, man. It was a $20 burger.
That's kind of wild.
I'll tell you what, man. We go on ahead. We run through these super chats and let's unpack this Bills-Denver game.
Happy birthday, TD. You are a hater. TD, now you got to live through the Ravens because your sorry Finns can't do it. P.S. We don't want you to pick us versus the Chiefs.
Lino, I can't wait till Monday. We'll have a great conversation then. But let me say this, man. You do ride for your guys, man. So salute to you. It's nothing but love. But I'm sorry, man. You're going to join the couch with some Tua chips come Monday. And we're going to welcome you. We got a nice seat for you.
Anthony Padilla. Buffalo is missing Bernard, Milano, Miller, Rab Johnson, and didn't have Cooper the last time they played the Ravens. Go Bills. Anthony, thank you for the $5 super chat. Good segue into the recap. But before we do that, another super chat flied in from Big Papa Bill. Ravens fans forget they beat us 35-10 with 7 starters playing injured. So that's back-to-back super chats reminding everybody of the injuries. So Dan, what did you see in that Buffalo Bills win that you haven't said all across your platforms yet? Or what else you want to say about this win against Denver?
So I think one of the biggest things, and it's something that should give a hell of a lot more confidence to Bills fans watching this, and perhaps even instill fear in Ravens fans that are ultimately about to be playing the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. I saw a healthy Matt Milano. I saw a healthy linebacker core. I saw a defensive line that was absolutely pummeling one of the best offensive lines in all of football when it comes into pass protection. Bo Nix was pressured 56% of every single one of his dropbacks, the significantly highest that he has ever had. It just goes to show you when this team is fully healthy in all of the right spaces, it's very difficult to consistently win against this defense, something I've been saying for quite some time. Still did end up grabbing a turnover. I don't see that changing next week, but really just hats off to the defense, right? Like allowing our offense to put up 31 points unanswered after that first touchdown drive was completely the message that was needed to be sent to Bills Mafia. So I'm very, very excited about that. I'm not so much surprised with what our offense did. That's just business as usual. Like we're regularly putting up 30 points against the best defenses in all of the NFL. We did it against the Kansas City Chiefs. We did it against the Denver Broncos. So solid win from that team. Everyone's firing on all cylinders, and I'm just happy that we got out of there completely healthy. It's going to be interesting.
Completely healthy indeed, man.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind in all seriousness when Bo Nix had that touchdown? Like, was there any slight fear of like, you've got to be kidding me? Like, we're actually like, this is Bo Nix about to do this the whole game? Or do you have confidence that you're going to bounce back?
So I think about 30% of me, I was just like, wow, I think this game might be a shootout or something like that. But then after that next 3 and out, and then after the missed field goal, it just reminded me that this is just who the Buffalo Bills are, right? Like we typically have the worst first quarters out of each and every single one of our games. And we take time to like see what the offense is doing, what their best pitches are. Like we're a team that sits back and wants to see if that offensive coordinator is going to show their hand early. And that's ultimately what it turned out to be. I said it soon as when he marched down the field and scored a touchdown. I was screaming in the mic and I was saying, that's all they score. I didn't really believe that, but it did manifest into that exactly, which makes it crazy. But yeah, most definitely. Nerves were there for sure. And I was getting trolled that like no belief for it. But then all of them ended up completely disappearing the second we ended up taking control of the game, capped off by that Josh Allen insane pass into the end zone on 4th and 2. Soon as when that happened, I think a lot of us sort of felt the weight off of our shoulders, and we know that we were just going to run away with it from then on out. Colby, what do you think about that game?
Yeah, I was watching that game, and Dan, I told you heading into this one that I liked how you guys fared up in this one. I said that this was your best matchup, the best scenario for you guys in round one because of just how well, again, you matched up. The Denver Broncos are a team that they do not have a running game, and this is exactly what we saw. I mean, Bo Nix was their leading rusher with 43 yards. Javonte Williams was at number 2. He ran the ball 7 times for 29 yards. He was averaging 4.1 yards on average. They just could not consistently run the ball, meaning that they had to pass the ball through the air consistently, effectively, and efficiently, something they couldn't do. Why? Because the Buffalo Bills, they have a very good secondary. They're able to get to the quarterback, and that's what we saw in this game. It was close for a majority of time, but as the game went on, as you entered the fourth quarter, you guys just took over, you extended the lead, and you essentially didn't even need Josh Allen to play that fourth quarter. You would have been perfectly fine. To me, this does not define the Buffalo Bills. It gives you momentum, and I've been a firm believer from the start that momentum matters just as much as the physical talent and the product that you put on the field from a physical standpoint. You're going to have much bigger competition heading forward over the next couple of weeks. Those are the games that are going to define the Buffalo Bills, but you guys absolutely killed them. I mean, like I said, Bo Nix, 144 passing yards. His receivers couldn't catch the ball to save their lives. Josh Allen goes out there, 272 yards. By the way, people trying to still have this discussion. Is it Josh Allen? Is it Lamar Jackson for MVP? Josh Allen so far through the playoffs has been significantly better than Lamar Jackson. So I still don't think that it's a conversation.
Did you just say that out of your mouth?
Yeah. Yes, I did just say that.
Josh Allen's been better than
statistically had a better game. Yes,
you know what? Somebody
said,
yeah, of course, statistically, because he had to do more even late in the game. Later in the game,
he had a better game with worse weapons. By the way,
Lamar already secured his game in the first half. And then it was chilling from there.
Are you going to say that Lamar Jackson didn't need to go up because he had Derrick Henry? Josh Allen had James Cook go for 120 yards, 5.2 yards on average, and a touchdown. So he had a running game too, but still dominated through the air. Didn't have an excuse. He doesn't have good receivers. He made Cortland Sutton his leading receiver with 68 yards against one of the best defenses in the NFL, with one of the best secondaries in the NFL in the Denver Broncos.
Somebody said it's on the huddle. I can't wait for Kobe
to the Buffalo Bills had a better game than Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Don't even believe that. Dan doesn't even believe that. No, you don't. Stop.
Dude, listen, man. Numbers don't lie. If you're going to use numbers to give
nobody
the MVP,
using numbers to give him the MVP. We're arguing impact.
Better, more impressive playoff performance. I'm going to have to go with Josh Allen because the numbers are higher than Lamar's. That's why he's getting the MVP, right? Because his numbers are higher.
Better he does not have a more impressive playoff performance.
So the Denver Broncos defense is better than the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, bar none. I think we can agree with that.
Oh, say that again?
I said that the Denver Broncos defense is leaps and bounds better than the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Well, that's not true. The Pittsburgh Steelers always have a good defense.
They always just choke in the postseason. They haven't won a playoff game since 2017.
Maybe.
Listen, Josh Allen, first half, the man has 69 passing yards. He overthrew his receivers in the end zone 2 times in a row for a touchdown. It was a pedestrian halftime. Third quarter, in the beginning of the fourth, he went off. Good job. Lamar Jackson was flawless the entire time. He did his thing and then got to sit back and just hand it off. And we're, better performance statistically. Stop it. There's context to it. At the end of the day, y'all know good and well James Cook led the way. Derrick Henry was cleaning up after the first quarter when Lamar had already set the tone for the game. James Cook had to be the one to set the tone for the game in Buffalo. Now tell me I'm wrong on that, Dan Mitchell. Who set the tone for Buffalo and who set the tone for Baltimore?
It was Derrick Henry, easily.
How was it Derrick Henry when they were stuffing? They were stuffing
his presence alone sets the tone.
Now it's his presence.
Derrick Henry sets the tone before the clock even starts in the first. Bro.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, but I just think that people are still trying to argue for Lamar. He had a great season. Nobody's taking that away from him, but he's not winning.
He already won the MVP. He already won it.
I put not $100 because if I do lose, I need $100. I put $20 down on it that Josh Allen wins MVP.
Well, you got one. You got one.
What I miss?
I got one.
Kobe. Josh Allen had a way better playoff performance than Lamar Jackson.
No. So I have completely switched my tune. I want Listen, man, I want the Buffalo Bills to go in there and send the Ravens packing, like back to their damn mock drafts. And then I want Lamar Jackson to win the MVP.
Good.
I want him to win it.
Good.
I want him to win it when we
He
send
will.
them home. And then 2 weeks later, he wins the MVP. So
He
we can all
will.
be like, okay.
Lamar winning and send you home.
All right. Maybe
weekend
Josh
coming up.
Allen should have got the MVP instead. Man, listen, dude, he's going to outperform him in every single metric next week. I can't wait.
The NFL's not going to give it to him, though, TD. I said this 2 weeks ago. They're not going to give it to him
The
because
NFL. It's not the NFL. It's the writers.
But even then, the writers, what narrative sounds better? Oh my gosh, Lamar Jackson won it back-to-back years. Or in 2025, when the Baltimore Ravens and Buffalo Bills play each other, you have 2 MVP quarterbacks going against each other. Which storyline sounds better to you? What sounds more intriguing?
Yeah, but that's not how they're going to do it, Kobe.
I
That's not.
guarantee you that.
It's not how
Colby,
they're going to do it.
Why didn't Josh Allen get first team All Pro? It's the same people voting.
Same people. And I can see if the vote
Who
was
did get
close.
first team All Pro? Actually, I didn't even.
Who do you
Lamar
think?
Jackson.
I didn't look at the quarterbacks.
Lamar Jackson.
Well, you know what? He got first team All Pro. Now they'll go out and they'll give another quarterback
No.
MVP. This
The
is
last
exactly
time
what they
that
do.
first team All Pro did not win MVP was when, Dan? 1983?
Was 1987.
And
Now
it's
the
the
next
same
time
voters,
is
Kobe.
2025.
It's the same voters, Kobe. And here's the difference. I can see if they made Lamar an all first team All Pro, and he may have gotten 5 votes more, but it was like 40-point difference. They're voting for Lamar. They're gonna vote for him. It was like a 40 overall point difference, Kobe. So Lamar's going to win MVP, and he's going to show the voters you made the right decision this weekend coming up, and Dan Mitchell knows
Can we
it.
save this?
No, Dan, because Dan over here capping and Kobe capping too. Do you remember?
I'm
I
being
got
real.
that
They're
wrong.
going to give their respect to
got that
Lamar
wrong.
for having another good year. They're going to go out and they're going to give Josh Allen MVP. If the Buffalo Bills end up going to the Super Bowl, it's just going to solidify that fact that he did deserve it.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a debate.
Who's going to win this game coming up? That's what matters.
Well, Wednesday,
Yeah.
we will unpack that in its entirety. Richie, any thoughts on the Buffalo Bills ass beating of the Denver Broncos? And then we'll move on to some other burning topics.
Yeah, man. Listen, it was a great win by Buffalo. Expected. I picked them to win on purpose. And I think at the end of the day, when you look at this game in a nutshell, the Broncos just were playing coaching scared. They coached phenomenal, being aggressive early by having Bo Nix throw that deep touchdown. And then after that touchdown, Sean Payton just reverted back to playing the game conservatively and thinking that you can win this game on defense, which I don't understand. The only way you have a chance in that game is if you can match Josh Allen, and that's by being aggressive, throwing the ball down the field, rolling out. They were not aggressive offensively after that first drive. I just don't understand what Sean Payton was thinking. He put them in this we can win the game now by running the ball and playing defense. No, you're up 7-0, not 21-0. So I think that was a big mistake by them. And Josh Allen kind of, starting off the game a little slow, but as the Buffalo Bills usually do, they picked it up. And if you guys listen to my preview of this game, it went exactly as I said. I said the first half is going to be the Broncos playing well, and it's going to be close. And in the second half, the Bills are going to take over and win the game by a large margin. It's pretty much exactly what happened. And Bills fans would tell you, it's pretty much how the Bills go. You watch Bills games, every time you feel like they're going to get upset, it's at halftime, ooh, Bills going to get upset. And then the second half, they just turn it on. Sean McDermott is a phenomenal.
A lot.
Yeah, Sean McDermott knows how to adjust. He knows how to tweak the game plan. When he sees the opponent's game plan and they see what they're trying to do, he can perfectly mask it now. And, okay, I got to make these fine-tuning, got to do this, do that. And then they start playing championship. We'll see, caliber football, if they can get to there. But, yeah, big win for the Bills. Expected win when you're 9.5-point favorites. But now the real playoffs begin this weekend.
The real playoffs begin this weekend.
Well, not real playoffs, you know what I mean? But,
exciting games.
That's a game where it's a coin flip. Whereas, not everybody's picking the Bills, not everyone's picking the Ravens. Everybody picked the Bills against the Broncos.
Well, yeah, week 1 is essentially just the fraudulent teams that squeezed their way in. That's pretty much all it is.
Not all favorites won.
So did y'all hear that?
Not all favorites do win.
So did y'all hear that? So the NFL is considering switching up the seeding.
I would hate that
next year.
I did see that.
So it would be win percentage for the first 4 seeds.
I would hate that. You know what that does? that takes away the uniqueness of the NFL that's different between the NFL, NBA, and all these other teams. Because the NBA, there's no division. No one cares about the divisions in the NBA because it's conference seeding. If you take this away and the winner of the division gets a home playoff game, there goes the division, the meaning of winning a division. I personally don't like that. I think that they got to stick with it. They're trying to do an NBA model, and the NBA is failing. Don't try to do what they're doing. I mean, stick with what's made the NFL successful. I don't think that's smart. I really don't.
I agree with Richie, but I think that the reason why they may actually do it because it'll make a better transition to a national league as far as European teams and things like that. Because remember, it's hard to just add 8 teams to make things even on both sides.
Well, they're not going to change up the divisions.
But regardless, how do you have playoff seeding if you want to add 4 teams?
No. What the difference? You know what Dan's talking about? What they're preaching?
Yeah, the seeding. But this would make it easier to add teams to each conference. Because again,
but what division are they going in? They still need divisions.
It's going to be irrelevant, just like the NBA divisions are irrelevant.
Yeah, but for scheduling, you're going to need divisions.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but once again, it does make playoff seeding easier for them long term. So they might just be one additional division, Richie. They might add a division.
I mean, 2 divisions to even it out.
Yeah, might do that too.
It's funny though, just because what they're pitching is the exact opposite of what I heard somebody try to pitch before this report came out. And that's why doesn't the team who wins the division just like automatically get in? Like that's what it should be, right? Like give more of an incentive to win the division. Like nobody cares enough to win the division anymore. Like you could win the division and still not matter.
Yeah, it would take away the competitiveness of what makes football different, in my opinion, than other sports is the division rivalry, which is why we built Roundtable Sports. I mean, our company is built off of this. You know, like I don't want that to get taken away from us. Our company of Roundtable Sports is pinning people that hate each other in the division because if you win the division, you get a home playoff game.
Hey, it'll be a conference roundtable
if you get into the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it would still be. I think if you win the division, you should still get an automatic ticket to the playoffs, but you get an automatic home field playoff game.
So I think all 4 of the division winners automatically get in, but it goes 1st through 4 seeds get the home game based off of winning percentage.
Dan, do you like the idea?
Yeah, what would happen is a division winner can bounce into a wild card. And this year,
like the Texans would have been a wild card, and
Minnesota would have been
Tampa would have been a wild card.
A home game, situation. So, like, not on the surface level, but like there has been a couple of years where specifically, I think it was that one year where the Panthers made the playoffs and they were like 6-10 or 6-11, but they had a home playoff game and they were the 4th seed of the NFC. I think situations like that are sort of annoying. Like, why the hell does that team get a home game when they were 6-10 and just so the rest of their division was just god awful?
When Washington got in at 7-9.
Yeah. When Washington got in at 7-9 or something, I think that it's trying to fix an issue that doesn't happen too often. I sort of like how it stands, to be honest with you. I really.
I mean, when you think of it, I actually like the idea that was just said. If all the division winners are going to get in regardless, that's fine. But then once everything is settled, then rank the records.
Yeah.
And that's your seeding.
Why are you trying to like fix something that ain't broke? You know, like this is.
Well, it is broke because you got these bad teams getting in, winning a division with a home game. Don't you want the bigger team, and even for money, to have the home game? The better team to have the home game?
Yeah, but look at that Lions Vikings game last week. Like the whole meaning of that game was that's why that game was that was like a playoff game in the regular season. You don't get that type of energy.
Number 1 seed though.
That was for the division too.
But so you're saying Minnesota doesn't deserve a home game over who was the worst team in the NFC, the 4th seed?
Rams.
Yeah, they don't deserve a home game. And look at the situation now. This shouldn't be with the Rams. This should be in Minnesota. 3 more wins than them or 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
I mean, obviously the Vikings are the better team, but that's what makes the whole notion of you got to win your division. Yeah, if you're in a better division or a worse division,
get in. I think that's what it needs to be.
Winning your division guarantees a home playoff game. Like that's what I think it should. That's what like the value of winning a division needs to be at its all-time high. Like that's what keeps the Bills and the Jets and the Patriots and the Dolphins to go after each other. That's what keeps the Ravens, Steelers. Like that's what keeps that hatred for these teams. You want that home playoff game, man.
Well, that's not what drives us to go after each other. What drives us to go after each other is making the playoffs. You'll still make it in the new situation. Win your division, you get in.
It makes it more. I think it would say goodbye to Roundtable Sports, man. I'm just trying to save our company, bro. We're building divisional. Our whole company's divisional coverage, man. You're ruining the whole reason to go at the division.
So the divisions wouldn't be gone.
Yeah, Richie, you keep saying that the divisions would still.
But there will be a layer of less importance to win the division.
It wouldn't be as competitive.
If anything, they should if you win the division, it's not that big of a deal. Like it's not as big of a deal if you win a division. If that happens to me,
I'm still going that Dan hard, regardless of the first playoff game. We didn't win the first playoff game, but I'm still going at the Bills hard. The home game,
of course you are, but if it ain't broke, it's not broken. Don't fix it. Why are we trying to fix something? Oh, sorry, Vikings get a 5th seed. It's always been that way, man. Win your division and stop complaining, Minnesota. Win the division, stop complaining, Washington. Like I'm sick of these 5th seed teams complaining. Win your division.
So these weak divisions get to take advantage of that every time.
But that's what makes the whole craziness of the NFL. You have bad divisions, you have great divisions. That's what makes the whole dynamic great for the NFL.
Yeah,
that's what's awesome. You can't control how good a division is or a bad division. It's we're trying to use the right words to explain what I'm feeling right now.
You're telling me, Richie, you're telling me that if they change it to the new rule, we won't be motivated for our team to win the division anymore? And
of course you will, but not as. You will lose a layer of fire. You will lose a layer of fire, in my opinion. For sure.
Okay. I mean, you don't get in the playoffs.
Because you get a top 4 seed. Like a top 4 seed guaranteed is a big deal if you win your division.
If the league
makes the division title so great. If you win your
think.
division, you're the 7th seed. It's you want to win your what I'm trying to say is there's a mini there's the conference, there's the NFL, and there's divisions. There's 8 divisions, and there's war in those divisions. And all 8 teams that come out of their war within their divisions get a top 4 seed, get a home playoff game. That's the prize.
There will be no more war because
not as much as a war, because then you get on the road and not have a home playoff game.
I just didn't know.
Every division deserves a home playoff game in the playoffs, in my opinion.
Every division, okay. I mean, I get it.
Don't you feel like every division deserves to have their team be home for a playoff game?
But every division doesn't have a home playoff game.
Yeah, they do.
They do? Everyone?
Yeah, every single one. Every division winner.
1 through 4. Okay, I see what you're saying. But
every division winner gets a home playoff game.
I didn't know that it mattered just because you're home or not. The goal is to make the playoffs. Yeah, it's a bonus to be at home, but winning your division, I just think that it would actually be more competitive. Start focusing even more on everybody like normal. But I get it. If it means more to other teams getting in the playoffs to win the division.
Baseball is a sport that prioritizes divisions, and they have a wild card system too. That's the same. It's very similar to the NFL. You win your division, home playoff game. Mm-hmm. If you're a wild card, you're on the road. That's how it's always been. That's what makes the wild card interesting. You have your division winners for the home, and then you have the wild card teams that are not division winners going on the road. It's just that just makes sense. I would get all out of sorts if it changes. But
just takes some of the rivalry away.
Things.
That's the thing. Yeah. If the league wants to build up that rivalry and teams hating each other, going hard against each other.
For the long term, yes, we still have that hatred for each other, but for the long term of the sport, I think it would slowly get less.
Decrease.
It would, the NBA is like that right now. The NBA, there's no division rivalries in the NBA because of that.
Okay.
It's it's interesting. You want to hear?
But hold on. There's no division rivalry in the NBA because if all the teams suck, none of them make the playoffs. Well, that's why. That's why there's no division rivalry in the NBA. If every team in the division sucks, they don't make the playoffs. But in this situation, your division winner makes the playoffs. That's what you're fighting for. So that's the difference. But I get it. I see. I mean, it's different ways to look at it. I understand.
So y'all want to hear some cruel irony?
What's that?
I just hit 100,000 followers on TikTok.
Whoa!
Just to be deleted, baby. Woo!
You're going out like a
before it's
freaking
banned, baby.
champion, Dan.
Just before it's banned. No,
Absolute bullet train, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed now, but yeah. Damn.
It's okay, dude. You know, you still hit 100,000 followers. You still have it. You know, even if they delete the ad, you'll still have it technically.
Yeah,
it just
yeah,
won't, matter.
Look at my profile with tears. Be like, damn, I did that shit.
Damn,
Dude.
bro. That's brutal.
Yeah, fuck, man. Damn.
TikTok, damn.
Well, fellas, we got about just under 15 minutes left, and there was some big news that happened in the division. We touched upon it a little bit over the last couple weeks, but it was all speculation up until that point. It is now official. The New England Patriots have a head coach. A guy is taken off the board, and a team has their future. New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel, the reunion is finally here. Before I kind of start breaking down my thoughts about this, though, I want to hear from you guys. Like, from the teams in the division, how do you genuinely feel? Are you scared about the Patriots now that they have a former head coach as their head coach? Richie, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think this was a perfect hire for you guys. The way you did it was the Patriot way. The way you just did the Rooney Rule as opposed to two coaches of the same graphic. Kind of wild. Just like no disregard, no PR, like intelligence, just posting two of them the same exact graphic. And shout out to Aaron Glenn for declining that interview because the Patriots had the nerve to try to save their face. But all right, we'll bring in Aaron Glenn to make it feel like, yeah, we're interviewing more. Yeah, Aaron Glenn's like, go scratch. All right, decline it. That makes you want to hire Aaron Glenn more, by the way. Intelligent man because he knew why are you bringing me for the interview. Vrabel's your guy. Pointless. You're just trying to save your whole look from the outside. It won't save that. But from that, the Mike Vrabel hire was perfect. And correct me if I'm wrong, Colby, there was something in Bill Belichick's contract where Gerard Mayo had to be the coach after him, correct?
Yeah, back in 2022, they put it in his contract that when Belichick retired, that Gerard Mayo would take over. So they never did an interview process last year for their head coaching vacancy.
Yeah, so that tells me that they honored it. And even the middle of the season, Kraft is like, yeah, we honored the contract. He's out of here. And the way that they did it is the way that they did it. And it's just interesting. Mike Vrabel is the guy. And obviously, there's nothing wrong with knowing who you want to hire. Like Mike Vrabel was their guy. When they fired Gerard Mayo, they knew Mike Vrabel was the guy. But just the way they did the whole rule is just like, come on, man. I mean, the whole but Mike Vrabel is going to be a good coach for you guys. The thing is, the next question I have is who's the offensive coordinator? Is it going to be Josh McDaniels? Is it going to be somebody else? Because you have a young quarterback that you need to develop. And the Patriot way still lives on, right? You decide not to go a new era of the New England Patriots. That's kind of new and fresh and dynamic. You're going that same old Patriot way, which has proven to be successful for so many years with Belichick, and Vrabel was successful in Tennessee. And we'll see. Will you be able to be competitive this season? I think you'll be better than you were last year, but you still have so many holes on the roster talent-wise, and now you have a lot of cap space. You have the 4th overall pick, and you have a young quarterback. So you have everything in place for Mike Vrabel. So the question is, will he be able to rise to the occasion? So the Patriots will be more improved next year, and it definitely adds a wrinkle to this division.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was also, too, like a big division between Patriots fans when he was hired was, why are you going down the former road? I mean, he never coached here, but he did play here at one point. Why aren't you going out getting a young buck, an offensive-minded coach, and like Ben Johnson? And I think it's because some Patriots fans have PTSD, right? Belichick was a defensive-minded coach. Gerard Mayo was a defensive-minded coach. But what people fail to recognize is that in order to go to Super Bowls, to win Super Bowls, to be a consistently good team year in and year out, you need to be dominant in all 3 phases, offensively, defensively, and in special teams. If you get Ben Johnson and he makes your offense great, that's amazing. This is an offensive-minded league, a pass-first league. But if your defense and special team sucks, it's absolutely not going to matter. Just like with Belichick, Gerard Mayo, now Mike Vrabel. If the defense is absolutely amazing, but the special teams and the offense sucks, you're still not going to win. What you have to do as a head coach is succeed again in all 3 phases. If you can't do that, it doesn't matter if you're offensively minded or defensively minded. When it comes to somebody like Aaron Glenn, I don't think he stuck the middle finger up to the New England Patriots, and I'll be interested to see if this ever comes out, because right now we don't know why he declined an interview with the Patriots. It could be one of 2 things. One, he understood the Rooney Rule. He understood that maybe he was just another minority candidate interview to make the Patriots look better. He formerly played for the New York Jets and said, F you Patriots, I am not interviewing with you. This is a rivalry in my mind. Or he said, why would I waste my time? Because if Aaron Glenn is smart, he would want to be the head coach of the Patriots. He would have interest in being the next head coach for the Patriots. Why? Because the Patriots have the 4th overall pick. They have a potential franchise quarterback who NFL executives believe can be top 5. They lead the NFL in cap space with $130 million and have a second all-pro cornerback in Christian Gonzalez. They do have pieces. But I really think he saw this just like the rest of the league saw it and said, you know what? Why am I wasting my time? I'm not going to go interview with the Patriots when they clearly know who their guy is going to be in Mike Vrabel. I got to worry about a potential Super Bowl. I got to worry about 2 playoff games right now as a member of the Detroit Lions. I think that's why he turned down the New England Patriots, and it makes a ton of sense. To be completely honest, too, I think Aaron Glenn is just
that ain't why he turned on the Patriots.
I think Aaron Glenn doesn't need to interview for any more teams. I think.
Are you kidding? That is totally wrong.
No, I think Aaron Glenn.
You think he turned down the Patriots because he had to prepare for the Detroit Lions?
No, I said that's part of it.
That's not part of it. He's not dumb.
No.
He's not saving face for your franchise for what they did with the Rooney Rule.
I don't agree with you, though, that he just turned down the Patriots because, oh, fuck you, I don't want to be a part of the Rooney Rule. If he's smart and he can
he's a Jet. And he's a Jet at its core.
The New England Patriots.
That's why I turned it down, too.
Already met
Aaron
the
Glenn
Rooney
ain't
Rule.
going to save face for that team.
In an interview with Aaron Glenn, they already met the Rooney Rule. Did they go about it the right way? No. And that's what's upsetting even as Patriots fans who are saying, why did you not do this process right? Now, the Rooney Rule within itself is flawed. The Rooney Rule in itself is stupid, and they need to figure out how it's a good idea, but the way that they go about it is very, very wrong. And they
tried to save face by interviewing Aaron Glenn to make him look better.
But nonetheless, they
failed. Aaron Glenn caught their bluff.
They already met the Rooney Rule. So when they asked to interview him, it's because they had at least a level of interest.
No, it's because they knew that the whole world was clowning them for putting both of those coaches on the same exact graphic, interview them in the same exact day. The audacity to do that. Everybody knew they were interviewing Mike Vrabel. And then they're like, all right, let's bring in Aaron Glenn so it makes it look like we'll interview more than 2. We'll interview 3. Get out of here.
So what report has come out,
Glenn's
Richie?
like, nah.
What report has come out that genuinely makes you think that? Because I'm going to trust the sources.
Every single person that's not a Patriots fan knows this. You're the only one.
Where? No one.
You're the only one. It's Colby. There's no report. It's common sense.
It's not
That's
common
what it
sense
is.
that Aaron Glenn turned down the Patriots because they were just trying to make themselves look better.
From common sense.
That they wanted to interview
I mean, what are we talking about here?
You think that they wanted
the
to interview
entire
Aaron
planet
Glenn just to make
Earth,
themselves look
bro,
better?
the entire planet Earth knew they were hiring Mike Vrabel. Why would he go in there, waste his time to go to a team that he knows he's not getting the job, and then you're just bringing him in? You're bringing him in order to save face.
That's not why. That's not. If they go out and they interview 15 candidates, even if they know that they're going to hire Mike Vrabel, there is value in still interviewing other head coaches to get intel on other teams, to get ideas.
Yeah, and Aaron Glenn didn't let him do that because he's not allowing his name to save your Patriot model.
If you want to say that,
shout out to Aaron Glenn for doing that.
If you want to say that Aaron Glenn didn't want to interview with the Patriots because they knew the head coach that they were going to have, and he knew that he didn't have a chance, so he declined it because he didn't want to waste his time. Okay, but if you're saying that they wanted to interview Aaron Glenn specifically to make themselves look better because of the Rooney Rule, that I don't agree with. So half of it, yes, I agree with.
The whole world was clowning them. And all of a sudden, by the way, they interviewed him on Thursday. Why didn't they request to interview him earlier in the week? Oh, it's because the entire world saw what the Patriots did. Robert Kraft was scrambling like, oh, all right, let's bring in Aaron Glenn then to try to make us look better.
Interviews come out immediately. Mike Vrabel wasn't even the first interview we heard about. Mike Vrabel was the second head coach.
Wasting his time,
the first one was Ben Johnson. Then we heard about 2 minority candidates on day 3.
New England Patriots should be ashamed of themselves for how they handled this whole operation. The media should be clowning that entire organization how they did it. I'm not letting this slide.
The last thing that I'm going to care about is a biased Jets fan who hates the Patriots. I said it before. I was like,
the whole NFL, every fan is doing it. It ain't just a biased Jets fan, Colby.
Now I can't wait for Jets fans, especially you, Richie, to build up the hype that Aaron Glenn might actually go to the Jets just to be ripped down yet again. Now I can't wait for that. But you know what, Dan?
It's crazy how you can't even admit this. I thought at least you would be agreeing. I don't agree how the Patriots handle it. I'm shocked you can't even admit where the Patriots were wrong here.
5 minutes ago, Richie, open up your ears. I told you that I don't
said
like
everything
the way
I
that
said
they
wrong
went about the Rooney Rule. I don't like the way they went about the PR stunt. I said that on my video yesterday. So I did acknowledge that. But I'm not going to say is 100% for sure the Patriots only wanted to interview Aaron Glenn to make themselves look better. Maybe it is. Maybe it's part of that. But you're trying to say that is the only factor 100% guaranteed. And you don't know that. There's 100% other factors. Maybe that is part of the factor, but to say it's the only factor that went in, I think is absolutely bogus.
And
we
I also
only have
just want
4 minutes left. So Dan,
I wanted to. That's for Aaron Glenn for declining the interview.
Listen, man, we ultimately ended up having
And this is me
just the
when Aaron Glenn turns down the Jets.
So the guttural rivalry between the Jets and the Patriots arguing for the last couple of minutes.
Thank you.
Wild stuff. I love the move. Let's see what he does. I think this was the best possible coach you could bring in. Let's see what he does. And the Pats have all of the money in the world for free agency. They have a top 5 draft pick. We're going to see how they play it out this offseason, but I think that it's an automatic upgrade, and I'm going to crown the New England Patriots as the second-place finishers in the AFC East next year. Congratulations, Cole. Early.
Thank you. What about you? What about you, TD?
Well, first of all, we know why Dan doing that because, the glazing just is back and forth with y'all two. And y'all two.
That's because we're the two realistic ones.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, Kobe. I hate it. I hate that Vrabel is a Patriot. And you want to know what I sat here and realized when you were talking about it at first? I've been so concerned on the Patriots not getting them, and that I've even been saying, the Jets not getting them. That I've even been saying, he's going to be a Patriot, but I didn't really think about what that meant. This is a problem in the AFC East. He's a great coach. I think that he's going to come in and have an impact right away. He's going to have the team competitive in the division. And I could see the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills worrying about taking a loss, splitting, and things like right now. We feel like we're gonna sweep you every time, but with Mike Vrabel, I could really be concerned about splitting. I got to see what kind of team he builds to be concerned about getting swept. But I'm concerned about a split because that takes every team down by one win of what you usually get. You're automatically going to be a better team. He's going to bring in a tough team. He's not going to sit there and pacify these players like, the Belichick way doesn't work anymore. Well, Vrabel doesn't 100% operate like Belichick. At first he was, but he's found the perfect blend, but it's still accountability. It's still hard-nosed. It's still coming in and doing your job, and I don't want to hear nothing less. So that's a problem for the AFC. Congratulations to the Patriots. You got your coach, a proven coach that can, lead an organization to success to a degree, right? But we'll see how it all turns out. But I will say this, man. The Jets are in the basement now. The Jets are in the basement.
No, we ain't.
Yeah, not gonna lie too. My favorite thing about this hiring too is that we heard that the reason that he interviewed with the in-division rival New York Jets was a smokescreen to get the Patriots job. And then over the last couple of days, we even heard reports come out that he also interviewed with the Jets, hoping he was going to get the job with the Patriots so that he can get intel on the New York Jets. So that's another awesome thing. But last thing I'll say about Mike Vrabel to wrap this up, everybody wondering, what does he do? What direction do the Patriots go with him? What philosophy does he build in? He did have an interview, or not in his interview, but kind of like the press conference when you hire a new head coach. He had that today. He said, we're going to ask our players to do a few things. One is put the team first, to know what to do, and to play fast and aggressive. Also said that we're going to remove entitlement from our football team. We're going to earn the right to be here every single day. So really doing the exact opposite of what Gerard Mayo did. And that's exactly what the Patriots need.
Absolutely beautiful. Folks, let's go on ahead and take a look at these wonderful super chats from Leno TV. Thank you, Colby. I tried to tell TD yesterday, he didn't want to listen, that boy's a hater. He picks and chooses when to use stats. P.S. Derrick Henry led the Ravens.
Oh, gosh. Y'all funny. Don't worry about it.
Steelers biting on the read option every time tells you all you need to know. Teams defend against Derrick Henry 10 out of 10 instead of Lamar. Allen is MVP. Captain of Based Pants comes in. Get a tropical shirt for Bob.
Get a tropical shirt for Bob.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Yeah, man, you need to dress Bob up, man.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like the ref shirt's good, right?
Well, you should have a whole wardrobe, Dan.
Yeah, you're right, bro. I have been missing out on some opportunities.
For the offseason.
Maybe I should put like a Raven shirt on him.
Oh.
On Sunday, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that would be a great idea.
Shirt. Yeah, just going ahead and just beat the hell out of that. Like when Buffalo's beating the hell out
You're
of
hitting that thing
Baltimore.
like at all times, not even when something bad happens, even when something
Oh,
commercial break. You're just like, it's not even, it's like turning.
It's an interesting little wrinkle of my content, right? Right. I had to add something interesting. Name a better tradition than Finns and Jets fans watching the Bills play in January. Josh Allen is that MFer. Look at that.
That's a good one. That's actually a good one. That's a good one. I ain't gonna lie. A tradition.
So if they expand it, will be by 4 teams. It will go back to 3 divisions, West, Central, and East, 18 team each conference. By then, it will be 22 to 23 games. Wow.
Wow, that would be a crazy.
Great show, guys. Congrats on 100K, Dan. Bills and Josh Allen remind me of Charles Barkley and Phoenix Suns. So much potential, but no chips. Fins up forever.
I was about to say that's that, no
Is
championship.
it Louise
with
or
that.
Lewis?
Let's go Texans. Bring on the Bills next round. Wow.
So this is a Texans fan who was holding us accountable. He heard all of us doubting the Texans.
He was
And
right.
now he wants us to say our apologies to him.
Bro, I picked the
Sincerest
Chargers, but had a
apologies to the
gut
Texans,
feeling about
man.
the Texans. Should've
Sincere
listened.
apologies about the Texans.
Yeah, but I don't hear him this week talking about what's about to happen.
He just said, "See you next week."
So there's no such thing as a Patriots way. It was the Belichick way. Stop with the propaganda. Slippy
Okay.
Al.
It'll always be the Patriot way because of the slogan, but even when Belichick was fired, they like got rid of all of those slogans that were inside the like stadium and the organization and like said, Belichick's gone. We need to get rid of the shit.
So quick
the
little
Vrabel way.
look. We'll get into the divisional odds on Wednesday. So let's look at tonight's game. Don't forget, folks, this show is being powered by BetUS, #1 online sportsbook. 2-point favorites are the Minnesota Vikings. Quick hitters. Who you got tonight, guys? Rams, Vikings. Dan, you got Rams, right?
I do
Ooh,
have the
they
Rams tonight, man. I'm standing on business. I have a feeling that Sam Darnold is not going to rise to the occasion, and he will not have a good performance. Give me the Super Bowl winning head coach and quarterback.
Do you hear that, Sam? Are you watching the AFC's roundtable before your playoff game? I hope you heard Dan say that.
Oh, he
TD,
is. for sure.
TD, who you got?
I got Minnesota. I got to stick with them, but they had it at 2.5 earlier. They got some money coming in on the Rams right now.
Colby, who you got tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to take Minnesota. I just like that defense a lot for Minnesota. I think they'll be able to limit what the Rams are able to do. But, you know, definitely the Rams have the better head coach, and that might be something that helps them prevail in this game. Another thing, too, is that apparently they heard what Kevin O'Connell and who else? It was Dan Campbell and Kevin O'Connell, I guess, like we're talking, and not Will Campbell, but Dan Campbell was like, yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks. So I guess they like printed out a picture of that, and the Rams put it in the locker room because the Vikings are treating this as just an easy bye week, essentially. So that could help
Vikings are
motivate them a
actually
little bit extra to win this game.
The last time Rex Ryan's big ass mouth. There's a bye week for the Chargers, and the Texans used that as motivation. So,
Don't
And then
talk
right
about
after that, we
that.
heard he wasn't going to
Richie.
oh no, we're seeing our future coach potentially tonight in Brian Flores. I hope you know that.
No, stick with Aaron Glenn. Stick
one
with
of those
that-
two, baby.
that-
Those are
that
my top
false
two.
narrative. I
Top two.
promise y'all getting Rex Ryan or Vance Joseph.
Rex,
Well, they
Ryan-
already
who
said
you will.
I
Rex
hope
Ryan's
it's not
done.
Vance Joseph.
Brian
That's why I have
Flores
the Buffalo
and
Bills
Ryan
tongue
Grigson as the Jets GM is catching steam. So we
Oh,
shall see. We'll see you on Wednesday night, folks. Love you all. Enjoy the last game of the Wildcard weekend. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace out, folks. Much love.
Doses.
Hit the like on the way out.
Josh
Do
Allen
that.
trash.